Land Management Diversion Authority Committee meeting scheduled for this day on May 21, 2025. It is now 3 p.m. and I'm going to call the meeting to order. Ask that the roll call of the members in attendance by person or on computer be taken at this time.
Mr. Flacco.
Present.
Mr. Stamnis. Ms. Derrick.
Here.
Mr. Campbell.
Here.
Ms. White.
Here.
Mr. Gust.
Here.
Mr. Breitling.
Here,
Ms. Majo.
Here.
Ms. Sternberg. Mr. Zimmerman.
Here.
Quorum is present.
I understand we do have a quorum. Is that correct? Yes, thank you. The next item on our agenda is the approval of the minutes for March 26, 2025. Is there a motion to approve them as printed?
So moved, Deb White.
Is there a second?
Flacco seconds.
There's been a motion and a second. Are there any questions or concerns concerning the content of those minutes? This does not require a roll call vote, so all of those in attendance who are approval of this motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. The motion was ruled to carry. The second item is the approval of the order of agenda.
Campbell
Yeah.
moves.
Mr. Campbell moved. Is there a second?
White seconds.
There is a second. This also is a voice vote item, does not require a roll call vote. Are there any questions or concerns concerning the content of the agenda? Hearing none, all of those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. The chair will rule the motion is carried. The next item of business is the OIN 858 sale of excess land recommendation. My understanding is Mr. Dodds is going to provide us with the data necessary to address this question.
Good afternoon, committee members. In your packet is some brief materials regarding this item. Put up on the screen here as well. So OIN 858 is a piece of excess land in the upstream mitigation area. This is a former rural residential property that we have acquired the flowage easement on and removed all of the structures. Zoom down to the map here in a second. This property has been identified as excess land late last year, and it has gone through the entire process where we have offered it to the former owner, we've offered it to the member entities. Cass County has elected to purchase a sliver of the parcel for future road right-of-way needs. We have offered it to the former owner, to the adjacent owners, and it has been listed as public sale. We did receive a proposal in the public sale process. The memo previously in the packet on page 4 identifies that the proposed purchase price of $20,000. This is kind of consistent with what we've seen for other similar properties of similar nature, and so we, as usual, bring those forward to the committee for consideration of that request. As you'd see here on this page, originally we had identified this at about $58,000, and the proposal is to purchase it at $20,000. This is about a 10-acre parcel, and I guess we're here looking for approval of the recommendation.
Are there any questions of Mr. Dodds concerning his report? If we are to approve this, it would be a recommendation of this committee that the authority approve the sale. We would not be approving the sale finally at this time. Are there any questions of Mr. Dodds?
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
if this has followed the proper excess land procedures, and this is what we have before us, I would move approval of the price.
Are there any, is there a second to the motion?
Zimmerman seconds.
Thank you. Are there any other discussions or questions or concerns that should be addressed at this time? This item requires a roll call vote. Would you please call the roll?
Mr. Flacco,
Aye.
Mr. Stamnis,
Yes.
Ms. Derrick,
Yes.
Mr. Campbell,
Yes.
Ms. White,
Yes.
Mr. Gust,
Yes.
Mr. Breitling,
Yes.
Ms. Majo, Ms. Turnberg,
Yes.
Mr. Zimmerman.
Yes.
That is everyone.
Thank you. The chair will rule that the motion is carried. The next item of business on the agenda concerns OINs 7234B, 7234C, and 7234D. And again, we're going to call on Mr. Dodds to provide us with the information necessary to address this item.
Yes, good afternoon again. You might be familiar, we've had a few discussions about this rail corridor property in the past. I did hand out an updated version of the map. As you may recall, at the March committee meeting, there was a direction given to basically follow the excess land policy. Since that time, we have reached out to all of the adjacent landowners, sent letters to them. A sample of that letter is in the packet. In the letter, we invited the property owners to express interest in purchasing a portion of the rail corridor. We also gave them a deadline of May 12th. We also attended a couple meetings for the residents in Horace, making ourselves available for comments and questions. And a few of the landowners are in the room here. I guess I would commend TJ Krenzel for a lot of his legwork in communicating with the neighborhood down there. As you see on the map that I've handed out, we have acceptance and written confirmation from all of the private landowners along this corridor. The only exception is the city of Horace. I have had some communication with the city of Horace today, and they did discuss this at their council meeting earlier this week. Given the overwhelming interest, I guess it's our plan to continue with the motion that the board had directed in March, where we will proceed with the excess land policy. Given the interest from these property owners, we'll move into the next steps of surveying and platting this property and moving into the stages of issuing purchase agreements. We've noted to the landowners that that process will likely take several months. In the meantime, there's work to be done to remove the ballast material and do some environmental cleanup in this corridor. And so the landowners are aware that that'll take several months to complete as well. Regarding the parcel D14 that the city of Horace has been offered to purchase, I understand from talking with the city staff today that the council took no action. They did not offer to purchase that parcel, but there was some discussion that if everybody else was going to purchase theirs, then the city may reconsider that position. I would also share with you that the owner of across the tracks to the west of the person that's going to buy D2 has indicated they would be happy and willing to buy D14 as well. So I feel like we have two different options, and I'll continue to work those different options, perhaps allowing the city to purchase D14 if they want to reconsider given the latest status. If not, then I think the Zarin purchaser of D2 will have an option. And I also would just share with you the map that I've handed out is updated. We did have a couple landowners who were out of country until recently and just got confirmation late yesterday that they were both going to sign their did sign their notice of intent documents. So with that, I'm happy to stand for any questions. Frankly, I'm happy and surprised at the same time. I didn't expect we would have all the buy-in from the landowners. So again, thanks to the landowners for their interest. And, yeah, I guess I don't think this is an action item. I feel like we've been given direction on how to proceed, so more of an update, but happy to answer any questions.
Is the blue on Southwood Drive indication that there will be an extension of that drive?
Currently, that's the suggestion, that we would use that as a, dedicate that as proposed right-of-way. I expect once we get into the survey and plating work, there'll be some refinement of these boundaries, refine that. I think the intention is we'll follow the spirit of what we've laid out here, and if there's major deviations, we may have to come back, but I do expect there will be some refinements as we dedicate those rights-of-way.
Would that require a transfer to the city of Horace?
Typically, a dedication of right-of-way would be done via the plat, and so I think we could process that via the plat.
Thank you. Mr. Gust?
In case no one were to purchase D14, the joint board does not want to be in a position of owning a piece of land that they have no access to. What happens if nobody purchases that piece of land?
Yeah, thanks for the question. We've contemplated that a little bit as well. I think one other option is we could dedicate that portion as right-of-way to the city and sort of ask them to take over ownership and control of that parcel.
Thank you.
Are there any questions or comments that any member of the committee wants to make at this time? I'm going to deviate a little bit from the agenda. The North Dakota legislature has recently required a public comment portion of your agenda. I don't believe that statute is effective yet, but I notice there are some people in the audience who may want to make some comments. And so I'm going to add, at this point in the juncture, a public comment time period and ask if anyone in the audience wishes to be heard at this time. Please address that microphone over there, please. Thank you.
Members of the committee, my name is TJ Krenzel, 501 Main Street, Horace. Basically, I just want to say thank you for taking the time or giving us the time to work with the neighborhood to get everything put together and everybody organized. We're hoping that everything moves forward smoothly. I don't think there's any hiccups in our situation right now, but if you have any questions for me, I've been working closely with all the neighbors, so.
Are there any questions of this gentleman? Hearing none, thank you for appearing today.
Thank you, guys.
This item, if we're to follow the recommendations of Mr. Dodds, would require a motion and a roll call vote. Is there a motion to be made to follow his recommendation?
Stamps to make that motion.
Is there a second?
White seconds.
There's been a motion and a second. Are there any other questions or concerns? Please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. As indicated with D14, if the city does not respond, the adjacent owner purchasing D2 has indicated interest. Could a motion include, if the city passes on D14, that the ability for that adjacent landowner interested in D2 to purchase?
I assume that was the intent of the motion.
Does that work?
Was that your intent?
That's my intent.
Wonderful.
Yes.
That's great. Thank you.
And I assume the second was,
Yes.
it was that your intent as well?
Yes, it was.
Thank you. Are there any other questions or concerns? Hearing none, would you call the roll, please?
Mr. Flacco?
Aye.
Mr. Stamnis?
Yes.
Ms. Derrick?
Yes.
Mr. Campbell,
Yes.
Ms. White,
Yes.
Mr. Gust,
Yes.
Mr. Brightling,
Yes,
Ms. Majo,
Yes.
Ms. Sternberg,
Yes.
Mr. Zimmerman.
Yes.
That is everyone.
thank you. The chair will rule that the motion is carried. The next item on the agenda is other business. Is there any other business that should come before this committee at this time? The next meeting will be determined at a later date. Hearing no other questions or concerns, the chair will rule that the meeting is adjourned. Now, Jason was not here, and the reason is they got stuck in DC, and at the last I heard, they were stuck in Minneapolis, he and Tony, but that's why Jason isn't here for this meeting. You should know that. Thank you.
So just a note for the group, we do anticipate having a number of excess land items that should be ready for June, so tentatively keep your calendars open for June 25th, 3 PM. Thank you.